Hello, everyone. Good to see you. 新年快乐. I'm wearing red. It's Chinese New Year, and I can't believe it's already February. I'm coming on live because I'm doing an event tomorrow. And some of you know that I am an author and author coach as well. I have personally published and released 4 bestsellers in the market. So many people have been asking me, like, oh, Ruth, how do you get yourself into speaking engagements? How do you get yourself in podcasts? How do you actually get leads that actually convert? Right now, I'm dedicated to really helping people with a story in your heart, or you want to share your expertise to turn it into a best-selling book. But I want to make this work for anyone who's joining me in this book writing journey. I don't want your book to be just out in the cloud, out somewhere, but I want your book to be out to the world. So this year is 2022, double doors, double opportunities. I'm really excited to be able to hunt down a podcast expert. I feel like it's a year of acceleration as we crystallize our story and our expertise, that we can also share it and multiply it to the world. So I am excited that tomorrow I found a podcast expert. Her name is Adeline Ng. She herself has released a podcast and is ranked global top 3%. Global top 3%. And Adeline comes from a wealth of experience. I cannot wait for you to meet her. Adeline comes with wealth of experience of 15 years of broadcasting experience. She's interviewed celebrities, and what people like Robert Kiyosaki and Michelle Yeoh and many people. And I managed to grab her time, which is why it's such a short minute notice. I managed to grab her time tomorrow. Tomorrow it will be at 9 a.m. in Singapore time, which is at 12 p.m. in Australia, which is on a Friday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I'm really excited, and I've got Adeline with me here. I want to introduce to you who Adeline is and what we're going to cover tomorrow. So Adeline, yeah, big welcome. I'm so excited to see you. Yeah, wow, it's so amazing that I know a podcast producer, and that it's just amazing what you have done. But can you share with my friends here, like, what do you do?
What do I do? Well, a lot of things, but in podcast world, I host a podcast that had an amazing launch story and journey. And I also help other people launch their podcasts. And going into the kind of work to see people have success ongoing with their podcast, so they don't fall victim to a thing that we have called pod fade. Because a lot of podcasters, it's very easy to launch a podcast because technically it's very minimal.
Just press a button.
Almost no cost, right? But so many people fall victim to pod fade. So after the 5th or 7th episode, they stop. Podcasting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And there are several reasons, including, the lack of intention, the lack of the strategy. So, just a couple of things to think about. So I want to help them get set up for success and for longevity, so that they can really reap the rewards of having a podcast.
Yeah. So for authors like us, like we put in the time to write a book, we may not want to start a podcast, but we may want to share more of our book with the world. We may want to, amplify our voice. Now we found clarity in what we stand for. We found clarity in our story. We've published it to the World Wide Web. We've published it into the bookstores, but we want more people to know about it. So, being able to become a guest speaker in a podcast matters a lot. But you're a top 3%. Do you get a lot of requests for people who's asking you to interview them or not?
I do get requests for sure. Mine is a niche podcast. Mine's an industry podcast. So it's pretty, pretty focused. But there's a lot as well, in terms of subject matter that would apply to my audience. So I do get pitched from authors, saying that, I've just done a new book. Do you think this would be of interest to your audience? So I can definitely tell you which pitches work and which ones don't, and why. I'll be sharing some of that, with your audience. But
yes.
But for sure, yeah, I do get those pitches as well. And definitely, if you have just launched a book, or in the last 2 or 3 years, that shows me that you have some authority in your subject matter, or you have a story that you've already thought this out. So I know you have content, and that makes it an easier yes from me.
Yep. So that's what we're going to cover tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an interview. We're going to dive deep with Adeline on, how can we actually be a guest invited into a podcast, to speak for a podcast, to amplify our voice so that more people can hear our story. Whether, you're writing the book because you're writing a book in your heart, you just want to inspire the world, the people around you, or whether you have a coaching business that you would like to use your book as a lead magnet to really attract people, to find leads that convert, amplifying, having a book, and it's a world of double opportunity, and a podcast can really, really support. So I'm really excited what we're going to cover tomorrow. We're going to dive deep on how you can actually be invited as a guest in a podcast. But Evelyn, just to sum it up a little bit, some of us are, especially for writers, some of us are a little bit shy in terms of we don't really want to present or anything like that. What would you say for them to come for tomorrow's session?
Yeah, I have a really shy sister. And she's always saying, well, I'm not you. I'm not like, and for me, I guess, I was always more interested in the conversation. So when I'm interested in someone else's story, that helps me get over myself. And I would tell my sister that confidence is not a personality thing. It's a lot of people think it is, but it is not. And there are so many people out there who identify as introverts and yet have been able to get over that, seeming hurdle, because they feel that they have a message to share. They have a story to share that may be able to help somebody else out there. And even if they feel like they can help one other person, it changes their life, that's worth it. So if you can focus on those things rather than focusing on how you feel about things, that will set you on the right path. I mean, we all have to start somewhere. And this is an opportunity to make your life count, to live with purpose. And for some people, it's like, I don't even have enough clarity that I need. I know you're the queen of clarity, and you help me get some of my clarity as well. But this is also one way that you get more clear on your message, more clear on how you do your story. And this is a journey that will reward you in spades. So I would say, don't let that hold you back. And you can identify yourself as an introvert and still get out there and do it. Because at the end of the day, a podcast is just having a conversation. If you've been on Zoom and had a conversation with somebody else lately, you can do podcast guesting.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So good. So we're going to dive a little bit more tomorrow on how you can do that. So don't preclude yourself. Whoever's watching, don't preclude yourself. Don't just discount yourself saying, I don't speak, I don't want to write. But ask yourself, if you have a story to share with the world, if you are running a business and you want to amplify your voice to get leads that convert, then I cordially invite you to join us tomorrow for the interview. It's going to happen at 9 a.m. in Singapore time, which is 12 p.m. in Australian time in Sydney and Melbourne, and also Friday night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be over Zoom. The event details is on my page. I will post it in the comments as well. It's going to be over Zoom so that we can make it interactive and practical for you. I think Adeline and I, we have the same heart, right, Adeline? Like, as long as we have a story to share, let's find out how we can get your story out to the world, even if it impacts one life. Imagine the legacy you're going to leave, right? So again, I'll see you tomorrow. Event details is on the link, and I can't wait for you to dive into a little bit more about insights on how you can be a guest podcast, how you can share your story with the world, and in very, very easy way, tomorrow over a coffee chat style interview where you can have your questions answered. So see you tomorrow. God bless you. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Adeline. Yeah.
Thank you. Looking forward to it.
See you then.